Hey, it's me, not Anthony Cosenza, not John Sheeran. It's Jason Garrison, host, co-host, whatever, of Three and Out on OBI, of course. I'm here in lieu of Anthony. Anthony, since the game is out on the West Coast in San Francisco, I'm here taking over the post-game show for him. He was able to go enjoy himself at the game. I'm sure he enjoyed himself because the Bengals won 3 in a row. Let's see. So they are 4-3 after starting 1-3. Very similar to last season. The Bengals start 1-3, 0-2 in the division, and then kind of turn things around and get it going. And that's what they did. They went out to San Francisco, and winning in the NFL in general is hard. It's a tough thing to win in the NFL, no matter what, whether you blow out or just barely squeak by. A win's a win. But they went out there to San Francisco, who's on a 2-game losing streak and is desperate for a win, and they won 31-17. And it really should have been 41-17. Bengals left a lot of points on the board. A lot of points on the field. Left a lot of points on the field. But overall, they played really, really well, especially on offense. Joe Burrow, everyone said, oh, he's back or he's close to 100%. He did Joe Burrow stuff officially, like really officially today. He squirmed out of sacks and, extended plays with his feet. There were a couple QB designed runs. He played really, really well. He finished the game 28-32. A crazy, crazy high completion percentage. 283 yards, 8.8 yards per pass or per completion. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times, but he had a passer rating of 134.8. Best game he's had so far this season by far. And that includes really well on the West Coast this year. So there's a lot to be happy about, especially with the offense. It wasn't just Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon ran really hard, averaged 5.4 yards per carry, had a touchdown. Jamar Chase did his thing. He had 10 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins looked really good. 5 receptions for 69 yards, and you kind of get the sense with T. Higgins after what you saw from him today that he is right. He's in there. He's back on track. He's ready to roll. And it's just a matter of time before he goes off. He kind of went off against Baltimore, but it's just a matter of time before T. Higgins really, just takes control. So, yeah, I mean, everyone did really. Irv Smith. The funny thing is, I usually make a parlay or so on the Bengals game, and I took the under on Irv Smith for receptions. It was 2.5, and I took the under because what he's done so far this season. And he burned me. I would have won like $139. He had 4 catches. Now, he had 4 catches for, he had 4 catches for 25 yards. He did have a really bad fumble at the end of the first half, which is part of that 10 points I said that they left on the field. But he was involved in the offense, which is something that we haven't seen from him at all, really. I mean, he had more catches today than I think he's had so far this season, which is crazy. It's a good thing. If this is, and everyone's kind of dogging Irv Smith, and I get it. I've been dogging Irv Smith. I get it. But it's one of those things that if he picks it up this point on in the year and plays the last 2/3 of the season really, really well, like we hope that he would, then yeah, great. He'll be signed somewhere else. Maybe he just needs a little bit of time to get his feet wet. Joe Burrow hasn't looked like Joe Burrow until kind of today. Maybe that had something to do with Irv Smith. Now, when it comes to the fumble, ball security is key. Got to hold on to the ball. Don't fight for extra yards if you're not going to be able to hold on to the ball. But fumbles happen. It's, it happens. The Bengals won. So there's no point in being super mad at Irv Smith. You can say, hey, don't do that anymore. Pick it up. But the Bengals won. Had they lost, different story, But they didn't. Let's take a look at the stats together, just in case you're joining us and you didn't see me or hear me, whatever, however you're listening. Read them off to you. Hold on a second. I got to remember how to. Here we go. Yeah, we'll get there, folks. We'll get there. I'm by myself today, so we'll get there. Here we go. Yeah. I don't like these jackets up here. I don't like these jackets. That's not me. I couldn't pull that off. All right, here we go. Joe Burrow, like I said, 28-32, 283, 3 touchdowns, 134.8. Brock Purdy, 2 interceptions, both by Bengals linebackers. I'll kind of get back to that. 22-31 for 365 and a touchdown and those 2 interceptions. Joe Mixon wasn't the best runner of the day, but this was his best game of the season so far. 16 carries, 87 yards, 5.4 average. The best runner of the game, as you can tell, was Brock Purdy. No, not really. It was Christian McCaffrey. He played really, really well. But it's Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what you going to do? 12 carries, 54 yards, a touchdown. For the most part, the Bengals did a good job. It's Christian McCaffrey. If he finds a crease, he's going to get through it. But I also saw the Bengals interior defensive line make a handful of big plays, especially DJ Reader. So it wasn't like McCaffrey just ate him alive, Who did really come on strong in the second half was George Kittle. I don't know if he had a catch actually in the first half. He may have had one, but in the second half he went nuts. And he ended up 9 catches, 149 yards. Had the Bengals not been able to score in the second half, George Kittle would have been the reason they lost. But they did. So, so pretty good overall in defense. They got carved up a little bit by Kittle and Ayuk, but this is a very good offense. Not like they did this to a bad team at home. They were on the road against a very, very good San Francisco 49ers team. Even though they've lost 3 in a row, they'll still be in the mix come playoffs. And then Joe Burrow spread the ball around a lot. Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Irv Smith Jr., Irwin had a couple catches early in the second half. Mixon had 3. Josivas had his second touchdown, only catch of the season, had his second touchdown of the season today. And then Sample had a target, no catches. So, yeah, you see the fumbles. It wasn't just Irv Smith. It was he did have that fumble. Jamar Chase had one. B.J. Hill had a fumble recovery, though. And kind of the coffin nail. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we talked a little bit about the offense. The offense looks really good. Let's talk about the defense. Okay. Defense against a very good offensive team played pretty darn well. Yes, Dan the man. Josivas. I butcher it every time. I know. Thank you. Josivas. I'll get there. They played pretty well. The defense did. I've said it before, and I will say it again. The Bengals have the best combination of pass coverage linebackers in the NFL. You're not going to find a better duo of pass coverage linebackers than Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. And Jermaine Pratt, I thought going from 21 to 22 was the most improved player on the defense, and he's been incredible. He's just getting better. He had an interception today, a big one. When the Niners were going in to score, he had a big interception. Then Logan Wilson had another one, and almost had 2. Both of them so good against the pass, so good. Let's see. Mr. Whisper wants to know: did the offensive line have any penalties today? I don't believe they did. I think the first penalty was against the defense, and it was a really bad roughing the pass. I get it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't. If it was Joe Burrow, I would have said that's roughing the passer. But when I see Brock Purdy go down, but I think that was the only penalty. The offense played really clean. Some really good blocking. I saw some really good blocking across the board, especially run blocking. I saw a couple times Alex Kappa really just shoving his guy downfield, and then I saw it from Cordell Volson too. Offensive line played really well today. You're going up against Nick Bosa. He's going to get his. And that's just a really good defense overall. But, they got to Burrow 3 times. I'll take it. I mean, he didn't get hurt. He played really well. He slid, moved out of the pocket. Now, if this was the team, if this week 1 Bengals or week 1 through 3 Bengals played the Niners, it would have been a slaughter. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. Yeah, really good stuff all around. So here's another thing. Dan the Man, very pleased with play calling today. That fake screen touchdown to Chase was brilliant. Yes, it was. I was very pleased with play calling as well. I liked some of the under center stuff. I did. The play action a little bit opened up today, kind of opened some things up. I like to see him under center. And also, to me, when he's under center, it screams he's healthy. He's healthy. I don't think they would let him play under center if he wasn't healthy. But yeah, just opens up the offense a little bit more. He was accurate today. He was feeling it. It looks really good. Really, really good. That one play in the I guess it was the first quarter, he snuck out of like 4 sacks and then ended up throwing a nice pass on the run to T. Higgins. And there's a couple defensive penalties. It was just an incredible play. Absolutely incredible play. So let's take a look at the division. All 4 AFC North teams have played. There's no one that plays tomorrow. So as far as the division goes, the Bengals did get a little bit of help today. So right here, they are 4-3. Both the Browns and the Steelers lost today. And then the Ravens won. They were losing for a while, but they won. So they're only, this is look at this. Look at the, you got 2-6 here with the Patriots. The Colts are 3-5. Chargers are 2-4. And then, the Giants are 2-6. The Bears are 2-5. The Panthers are 1-6. The Cardinals are 1-6. AFC North right here. Look at this. 5-2. The worst team is 4-3. And this is by far, no one can argue that this is not the best division overall in football. No one can argue that because it absolutely 100% is. But the Bengals won today, gained some ground on the Browns and Steelers. They're still technically here in 4th place. The head-to-head to the Browns. They haven't played the Steelers yet, but must be like opponents. Whatever. Either way, they are moving in the right direction. Unfortunately, the Ravens won, but they'll get there. I also wanted to show this. They've won 3 games in a row. Their net points on the season is -13. So kind of goes to show how good they've been over the last 3 weeks, especially on defense. Still negative points with a winning record. So I saw someone, Brad Allen here said, someone tell Burrow to slide. There were definitely a handful of times that Burrow took off down the field and was either diving or whatever, trying to dive to get a first down, or he got hit in the leg a couple times. I hate it. Every time he runs, every time he's running with the ball, I hold my breath. I mean, I'll probably do that for the whole season. Hopefully I don't have to. Dan the Man, he's right. Ravens are 6-2. So still, the Browns and the Steelers losing and the Bengals winning is a big deal. Big deal. So share your thoughts, man. Share your thoughts. What do you guys think of the game? O-line stepped up. Joe was just about perfect. A win in San Francisco is sweet. Very true. Very, very true. So, yeah, Bengals played great football today. Great football. I only think they had to punt. Let's see. They punted 3 times. But I don't think the first punt, maybe. I'm not sure if they punted in the first half. I don't think they did. What had me worried was last week. I know they won. They looked great in their first drive. They looked great in their second drive. And then they did nothing with the ball for the whole rest of the game. Even on the third and final scoring drive, which is a field goal, it was set up by an interception from Cam Taylor-Britt. And they gained 0 yards in that drive. And Evan McPherson nailed a 40-something yard field goal. So today, touchdown drive 1, touchdown drive 2, and then drive 3 is a missed field goal. Drive 4 is a fumble for loss. Uh-oh. And then they come out in the second half thinking now's the time, don't, the first drive in the second half hurt them. They I think it was it wasn't 3 and out, but they punted. And then they picked it back up. The defense, you got a couple turnovers, and then the offense, they didn't score on both of those turnovers, but they were able to get points on one of them. And then it just kept going. They really piled it on. So they did a really good job. They did a really, really good job. So coming up, Bengals come home. They host Buffalo, who, they look okay. They're good. Everyone knows they're dangerous. And then Houston. But it's a very good possibility the Bengals are looking at, I don't know, looking at, oh my God, just total brain fart there. But, they're looking at 5-3, 6-3, be a big deal. Big deal if they're 6-3 heading into, heading out of this kind of in through the middle of this tough part of the schedule. So, Sten Madsen, where can we improve for the weeks ahead? I mean, all over the place. The offensive line played well today, but I'd like to see that consistently. Joe Burrow is just going to get better, I think. I'd like to see T. Higgins more involved, and that was the case today. I'd like to see more from Irv Smith. I mean, the Bengals have already basically said they're not going to be buyers. I mean, the trade deadline is Tuesday. I don't know what time on Tuesday, maybe noon. If I was a betting man and you put a gun to my head, I'd say they don't do anything, that they're happy with Irv Smith. We'll see. I don't know. If they don't do anything, then I would like to see Irv Smith have the same involvement that he had, 4 catches, something like that, but not fumble the ball. You know what I mean? Consistently being able to get open. I also saw a play. It was meant to be like a jet sweep for Chase, and Irv Smith was going to block downfield from him, and Nick Bosa shoved him into the backfield. The whole play got blown up because of that. But yeah, I don't think that they're going to make a move. I personally would like to see it. I don't think that they will. And since they probably won't, I need to see Irv Smith step it up. Same involvement that he had today. The 4 catches is nice, but hold on to the ball. And if you're not going to do it, then get Hudson up. What are you doing? In the one game that Hudson was up, he looked really well, looked really good. What are you doing? Why is he out? Put him in. I don't know. I don't understand that move. But overall, other things that they can improve on, I don't know. There was a couple times today that Purdy was able to step up and escape the pocket and then extend plays, which allowed, Brandon Ayuk's a hell of a receiver. George Kittle's one of the best tight ends in the league. But, he was able to step up and then extend plays by stepping up and then finding a hole in the pocket. It's almost like that, I know that Hendrickson and Hubbard, it's not like they got there too quick, but there just wasn't a good pass rush up the middle most of the time. And when he's just kind of running free, it enables a receiver to adjust. There was a lot of big chunk plays throughout the game of Purdy getting outside the pocket and throwing downfield for 20, 30 yards. I think, let's see, the long for each receiver. Kittle had a 34-yarder. Ayuk had a 31-yard. McCaffrey had a 28. Ray McLeod had a 41-yard reception. I mean, that's too much. So, so I'd like to see more consistency from an interior pass rush. When it comes to defense, I'm really nitpicking here. Very much nitpicking. I mean, the defense overall played really, really well. I understand that defensive backs can't cover guys for 5-6 seconds. It's just not possible, Unfortunately, Purdy was able to get out of the pocket quite a bit today. So that hurt him. I'd like to see them clean that up. Overall, though, everything was really good. Everything, McPherson missed a field goal, but it was a 50-yard field goal. You can, he's been really good from 50 plus, but you can't expect him to nail all this. And plus, from everything I understand about Levi Field, I think that's what it's called, Levi Stadium, Levi Field, whatever. It's hard to kick, and the wind was really swirling today. So the fact that he hit one of them is pretty good. Pretty good. So can't complain too much. There's really not much to complain about. But yeah, just little things, to clean up before Buffalo next week. They're on a streak. I'd like to see it continue. I would. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. I think we should all be happy. Joe Burrow is back. No reason to think he's not. Joe Mixon ran the ball really well, 5.4 yards per carry. Ran kind of angry. I love this. Big love. Absolutely right. Love the intensity from Burrow. That he ran for a couple first downs. He was slamming his hands into his helmet. It was awesome. It was awesome. So see some of that you don't really see a lot of emotion out of him sometimes, especially when he's banged up. He's not playing really well. So it was really cool to see him kind of get that groove back. Jamar Chase is so good. So good. So incredibly good. I want to see in the comments. I do want to see how many of you guys think that was a catch fumble, and how many of you guys think that was an incompletion, because I think it was right there, man. I'm relieved that it was called a fumble, but oh boy, it was seriously right there. I mean, I could have, if he came out and said, yes, the rule is confirmed, it was a catch and fumble, I would have said, yeah, I guess, whatever. But I mean, that really saved them. They were in a point there where I think they were only up by 7 when that happened. So they got to take care of the ball. Let's see. Got something from Mr. Whisper here. The O-line's performance tonight makes me feel better about the matchups with Buffalo's pass rush. I absolutely agree. The O-line played really, really well. I mean, Joe Burrow has even said himself a lot of the sacks that he takes are on him. You know what I mean? He holds on to the ball too long, or he's looking to do something. Nick Bosa is a hell of a pass rusher, and if he might make you step up too much, it's Nick Bosa, But overall, the offensive line played really well, especially run blocking. I thought they played great, opening up holes in the run game. And Mixon did a good job finding those holes, bursting through them. And pass protection was about as good as you could ask against a talented front of pass rushers. There was a lot of times Burrow just kind of sat there and stepped into passes, didn't, just was able to look downfield without freaking out, which is obvious. That shows that he's got his health back too, which is nice. But yeah, they played really, really well. They did. Everybody did. If I had to pick an MVP of the game, it's going to be Burrow. So I know that he had a big game against the Arizona Cardinals, but this is his coming out game. This was his coming out game. This is when he looked his best. The way that he moved, the way he felt pressure, slid out of the pocket, just the stuff he was able to do. It's good stuff. So I'm going to see if I can share this. You guys, this is the play I was talking about in the first quarter. Yeah, it was early in the game, 11:29. Let's see if I can get this set up for you. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry. Here we go. I'll do this. Such an amazing.
And from the pocket, Burrow now
stepping back, steps up,
trying to find some breathing room, and it's still alive.
Gets rid of it, throws a dime, first down. And I think, like I said, there was a flag on this play, and it was actually on the defense. Just incredible. And this is not what we saw at all. I mean, being able to see, we didn't see that at all. We haven't seen that at all so far this year. And he looked great. And that was the coolest looking one that he had. That wasn't the only one. Right? He was able to get outside the pocket, throw on the run. He stepped up. I think there was a couple times he called his own number, and the play wasn't called quarterback rush, and he just got up there and saw something he liked and went for it. So, but yeah, this is a big deal. Like Dan the Man here said, This was San Francisco on the road. Any win would be, they win 31-30. Great. Doesn't matter. It's a win. It's a win. Huge to go out on the West Coast, come back with a win. Huge. 3 in a row. It's not easy to do. The NFL loves parity. Any given Sunday, all these teams, they spend the same amount of money. They have to spend the same money. They all have the same amount of money. That's why the NFL is so popular. You don't have the Yankees buying Super Bowls. You can't. In any other sport, Kansas City is a small market team. It is. Think about New York, LA, Las Vegas. Kansas City has got a dynasty going right now, if you want to call it that, whatever. But it's true. I mean, it's a small market team, and they're killing it. Cincinnati's a small market city. We're killing it. The NFL loves parity, though. It's hard for teams to win 3-4 games in a row. It is. It's hard for teams, good teams. San Francisco's a good team. It's hard for good teams to lose 3 games in a row. It is. So this is a big win. Bengals went on the road. They weren't favored, and they played well. They played better than the score even shows. And the score, 31-17, that's a big win. That's a big win. But it should have been 41-17. Again, missed field goal, and then the Irv Smith fumble. You think, the Bengals, he doesn't fumble that, Bengals are first and goal territory. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a big deal. They left 10 points on the field, and they still won by, I'm not doing that math right now. It's too late. It's 8:13. I'm not, oh, man, that makes me sound old. It's 8:13, and I'm saying it's late. It is dark outside, in my defense. But, yeah, I'm very happy. Very, very happy. I don't really think there's anything, and there's little things like, the Irv Smith thing, but he was more involved today. Again, more involved today. So today he had 25 yards. Before today, I don't even know what he had before. I don't even know if he had 25 yards before today. Before today, yeah, he did. He had like 34 or something like that. So, but yeah, he, outside of the fumble, played fairly well, kind of. And I think we're just going to have to get used to they're going to be buyers. They're not going to be buyers. I'm sorry. They're not going to be buyers. That's just a fact. We're just going to have to get over, get used to that. There's not much we can do about it. It is what it is. And I hope that Irv Smith has a great rest of the season. I do. I want the absolute best for him. You know what I mean? He's helping pilot the plane we're trying to ride on. I don't want it to crash. You know what I mean? I'm not going to wish bad things for the guy. It's like cutting off my own nose to spite my face. Wish good things for him. So he was more involved in the offense today, which was good to see. Now I want to see him hold on to the ball. I'd like to see him stretch the field a little bit. You know what I mean? Everything he's caught's been underneath. Maybe I'll see him get across the middle. And if he can't do it, we've seen Hudson do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. The coaches know more than me. Excuse me. Coaches know more than me. So I'm just a guy. For all I know, Irv Smith Jr. is 1,000 times better than Tanner Hudson. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, Tanner Hudson looks like he can be a larger piece in the offense. And I don't think he was active today, which I don't get. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. They got some stuff to do, some fine-tuning to do. So, coming up, let's see. The Bengals are really in the middle of a pretty nasty stretch. We're getting there. Kinda. My gosh. Again, it's just me hosting. Sorry, not used to this. So, let's see. Bengals. Win number 1, Arizona Cardinals. Win number 2, Seattle Seahawks. Win number 3, San Francisco 49ers. Coming up, Buffalo Bills Sunday Night Football. Okay. a little bit of a short week, but really not really. Actually, a little bit longer of a week. That made no sense, what I just said. Houston Texans at home, who are a little bit better than I think a lot of people thought they were. CJ Stroud's been really good. At Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals want to win the division. That's a big one right there. Home against Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, that's they're tougher than I thought they would be. They are. Okay. At Jacksonville Jaguars, who just beat Pittsburgh today. Home against the Colts. At Minnesota Vikings, though I heard Kirk Cousins got hurt today. I don't know how bad it is. I hope he's okay. I don't know. So yeah, at home against Minnesota Vikings, at Pittsburgh Steelers, at Kansas City Chiefs. That one's obviously on everybody's. That one's obviously on everyone's calendar, and then home against Cleveland Browns. So it's a tough schedule. All these teams. There's one losing team, the Indianapolis Colts. That's two. Two teams, the Texans and the Colts, are the only two teams with a losing record. Yep, that's right. So, and it's 3 and 4, 3 and 5. It's a pretty nasty schedule. So that's who they got. Oh, Cousins out for the season. That's sad. That's sad. I feel bad for him. Yeah, and there's another. Hey, Mr. Whisper, absolutely right. They said the back half of the schedule last year was murderer's row. We said the same thing. Same thing. And when they started off bad last year, we're like, oh, no, that's it. And then they won 10 in a row, right? 10 in a row, won the division. Second year in a row, there is no reason they can't do that now. This team, I think, is better than that team was. The offensive line is better. I mean, Joe Burrow's healthy now, and he's Joe Burrow. Chase is somehow better, which is wild. Yeah, I think they're going to be just fine. I'm pretty pumped up. I had a feeling about today. I did. I had a good feeling about today. The Bengals were going to win. So that about does it for me. Again, Bengals go out, San Francisco, win 31-17 in a game where they should have won 41-17. There was a lost fumble, and there was a lost fumble and a missed field goal. But overall, 31-17, great win against a very good team who's reeling, backs up against the wall, and they still won. Hey, something else. This is a good Dan the Man. Very young DB Corp will be getting better each week. DJ Turner started today, opposite Cam Taylor-Britt. DJ Turner started, and I'm kind of anxious to see the PFF numbers. I don't, put 100% stock in that. I have to watch the game again. But I kind of had a feeling that might be coming soon. So I like what we have seen from DJ Turner so far. So the next time you hear from me will be on Thursday when 3 and Out comes out. The trade deadline will have come and gone. I am not expecting to talk about some trade that they made. If they do, it'll be cool, but I'm not expecting it. Not expecting it at all. So, but yeah, Bengals got tough games coming up. Buffalo Bills, a chance to really, 4 games in a row. Chance to go 5-3. Start, hopefully, gain some. I mean, they've already gained a lot of ground in the AFC North, but, pick it up. Maybe, I don't know who's on a bye next week. I don't know if any of the AFC North teams are on a bye. Maybe, Baltimore drops one. Stranger things have happened. Offense looked really good today. Minus a couple tiny things. Defense looked really good today, minus a couple tiny things. Again, San Francisco 49ers are going to be fine. I know they lost 3 in a row. Good teams lose 3 in a row sometimes. There's been teams that have gone on to win the Super Bowl who lost 3 games in a row at some point in the season. They're going to be fine. The Bengals, people have been saying Bengals are going to be fine. Bengals are going to be fine. I think they're back. I think they're fine. Joe Burrow looks good. Looks really good. Best game of the year so far this year. Best game of the season so far this year. Looks really good, really healthy. Ran the ball a lot today. Was able to get out of pressure a lot today. Everything looks great. So, yeah. So, thank you for watching. Again, I'm Jason Garrison. I'm co-host of 3 and Out on OBI. Our shows come out typically Thursday morning, early morning. I'm filling in for Anthony Cosenza, and since he's out on the West Coast, he went to this game. I'm happy he went out there and got to see a winner. Good for him. Good for him. Maybe he needs to go to every game from now on, and this will be my thing. I'll be the guy. Whatever. This doing it by myself is a little bit nerve-wracking. No. Again, I'm filling in for Anthony Cosenza. Thank you for tuning in. Check out everything on Orange and Black Insider. Seriously, there's some great stuff. It's OBI. It's Chalk Talk. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. It's 3 and Out. It's great stuff. There's new stuff there every day. Check it out. Check it out. Go to CincyJungle.com, SB Nation Cincinnati Bengals site. There's multiple articles coming out there every day, including stuff from me. Tuesday Trenches every week. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for checking it out. Who Day. Very exciting. Very exciting. Again, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys Thursday. Kevin and I will see you guys Thursday. And maybe I'll be back next week for another post-game show with Anthony. We'll see. Who Day.